Good afternoon. Let's bring the meeting to order. This is a Historic District Commission, Town of Fairfield. Today is August 13th. The notice of this hearing was published Friday, July 31st, 2026 edition of the Fairfield Citizen. Let's go ahead and take attendance. Darren Raymond Locke.
Present.
Art Urbanez.
Here.
Nicholas Mirabella.
Here.
Jim Akmondo.
Here.
Maura Garrick. Here. I am Rosina Negron. Absent at this moment are Greg Valente and George Clark, who will be coming in soon. Let's go ahead and start. The first item on the agenda is Kevin Plouffe, 349 Beach Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, for a property located at 349 Beach Road. A, new pent roof overhang north side door. B, new storm door at north side door. C, new addition at south side of house to replace existing screen porch. D, new brick stoops with bluestone treads. E, new wood SDL windows and doors. F, covered gutters to match existing. Is there anyone here representing this application?
Yes, thank you, Rosina. I'm Jack Franson. I'm here to represent the Plouffe family for this application. I'm thinking with this table set up, maybe it would be better to just look at it on the screen. I do have boards here if people want to see anything up close.
Do you want me to move that, Jack, and we can pull it over?
So I can put that in center. It's gonna sit there. Yeah, so, this property, 349 Beach Road, is walking distance from where we are, just around the corner. It's in the handbook, it says 1750. In the old original 1963 study, it says pre-1950 or 1750. And it says, in the handbook, it says Bulkley, but in the old book, it didn't say what family, but there were Bulkleys everywhere. There were Bulkleys all over the place. So it might have been one of the Bulkley houses. It's a salt box. And it faces onto Beach Road. And then there's an addition, a newer addition on the back, which is this piece right here. And some of what we're doing is attached to that, and some of it is attached to the old part. So on the new part of the house, if you look at from Beach Road, we're proposing a pent roof over the stoop, which is facing, I guess you'd say west, but maybe kind of northwest. So right now there's an existing stoop. This is I'm not sure what date when this addition was done, but this is the old salt box. There's a door with side light. We're proposing to put a pent roof over that stoop, and it would have a wood shingle roof. And we're also proposing to put a storm door on the store because it just gets pounded with weather. And the door would be wood. It would have the frame of it would conform to the outer frame of the existing door. The proposed addition would take the place of the current, there's a current unenclosed porch here. And the new addition would take the place of the unenclosed porch. It would have a single double hung window facing Beach Road and a wood roof, but there's a little flat part of the roof that's EPDM. And this is the before and the after. On the back, there's a door with glass. There's a corner board here to differentiate the old part of the house from the new part of the house. And then also on that side, we are proposing to change the fenestration on the new part of the house to be, basically, there's 3 doors, 2 of them are inoperable and 1 is operable. And they're gonna be pretty close to being centered on, this dormer is not centered on these windows. But it's more symmetrical than it is now, let's put it that way. You can see what it looks like now. There's, three little windows here, and these two windows and the dormer up here. And we're also proposing two stoops, one of which really is pretty hard to see because it's behind the hatchway. And there's another little stoop proposed here that would be brick with bluestone, and it's in front of the hatchway as you face onto Sunny Hall. And with this, we're also proposing, all the gutters would be copper, all the leaders would be copper. The stoops are brick with bluestone, which I mentioned. The windows and the doors would be wood SDL. These are not the actual windows or the actual doors, but just examples of, I guess that's upside down. It's a wood SDL window as by Marvin or Norwood or any of the companies that do that sort of thing. Both wood interior and exterior. And I think I'll be ready for questions.
Darren, do you have any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Art, do you have any questions?
None, thanks.
Nick, do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Jim, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Laura, do you have any questions?
No questions.
I do not have any questions. Just to let you guys know, George and Greg are here, but because they missed part of the presentation, we're only gonna be the ones, commenting. So I don't have any questions. Is there anyone from the public that has any questions? Hearing none, we did not receive any letters in favor of this application or any letters opposing this application. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item in the agenda is HOA 176 Main Street Associate Incorporated, Sean Polly and Madeline Livingston for 180 Main Street, number 2, Southport, Connecticut, for a property located at 180 Main Street to rebuild the chimney. Is there anyone here representing this application?
Yes, thank you. I'm Jack Franson. I'm representing Sean Polly and his wife on this application. And this is a chimney replacement application. This was before you a couple of months ago for some other things, but the this is not one that's seen up here very well.
Do you want me to hold it?
Do you want to come here, Jack? If
I got it, yeah. So this is a very old survey which zoning let us use because if this gets approved, he's gonna require a new survey. But the chimney in question is, it's behind, the front of this building is here. And this building was an original building for the Bulkley House. But when the Bulkley House was turned into a condo, it lost a lot of its character and it was just kind of turned into a box, like a shoe box, and it's got a couple of original windows. And the chimney that is there may or may not be original, but it's not good. It's not to code. It's not tall enough and it's in bad shape on the inside as well. So what we have proposed is to put a new chimney on the rear of the house, which you can see if there were no trees between the other Bulkley house and this Bulkley house. You could see it on an angle looking behind. So the new chimney is proposed to be in the same location and the same shape as the existing chimney, but it's going to be a little taller and it's going to have a bluestone cap with brick risers. And the brick will be a Glengarry common brick. It'll look very similar to what's there, but it'll meet code and have a little bit of detail on the cap. We've got it. I think right now it has like a couple of corbels, so we kind of got a corbel here and then 3 courses and 2 more corbels and then the risers for the cap. And that's it.
Aaron, do you have any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Art,
None, thanks.
Nick?
No, thank you.
Jim,
No questions.
Maura,
No questions.
Greg?
No.
George?
Okay, thank you.
I do not have any questions.
Could I just ask, I didn't catch the, material of brick, I think you mentioned.
It's a Glengarry, it's just a manufacturer of brick.
Okay,
It'll be a red common brick.
thank you.
Is there anyone from the public that has any questions? Hearing none, we did not receive any letters in favor of this application or any letters opposing this application. Thank you, Jack. The next item in the agenda is Elizabeth Stricker of Bertini, 3113 Bronson Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, for a property located at 3113 Bronson Road. For A, remove chimney on rear elevation. B, move the mudroom door to the north elevation of the addition. C, rebuild the sun porch in kind with square openings rather than round. D, replace all doors on the southern elevation with slimline aluminum energy efficient doors. Is there anyone here to present this application?
Hi, my name is Dr. Darren Raymond Locke, and I'm representing the Albertinis for this application.
Just for the record, Darren is recusing herself from this application.
I will be. Such fun classes, so that's just- Thank you, Rosie, and I appreciate you sharing this. These ones, I think, are the pictures and then next.
Yes.
Bless you. Let me start with the pictures. It's like one go.
Technical difficulties.
It doesn't want to show the pictures. Okay, so this is a really, really beautiful house and these owners are new to Fairfield. They're undertaking a very sensitive restoration on the original portion of the house, which is that first block over to the left. You have the original house, which is 18th century on that side, and then a 19th century addition to the left. Over time, as you can see by the bottom picture, the original house was added on and kind of extended to the rear by no less than 7 different additions, some of which were not done with certificate of appropriateness approval. If you could scroll down, please. So the first portion of this was a little mudroom that was, there was always some little bump out here from about 1951 on. This mudroom was built sometime after the 80s, and as you can see, it has had several different modifications to it. So it used to be open to one side, there was a circular window put in at some other point. It's a hodgepodge of different architectural styles. The current owners are trying to, as I said, they're sensitively restoring this house and they're trying to make it more cohesive from top to bottom, back to front. So the first part of this is they want to make this match kind of the historic house a little bit better. Right now, the entrance is on the opposite side. I think if you go to the next picture, there it is. It's not very easily accessible. They would like to take that out, make that a solid wall and place the door on the other elevation, remove that circular window, push it over a little bit to centralize the door. I'll show you the elevations down below, but I'll just run through what is there existing right now. This is the side of the house. You can see on the left, there is a screened-in porch. And those are the rows of windows right in the center that will be replaced. The chimney in the middle, not that one, the next one, over that one. Nope, sorry, to the left. That is the chimney that is in question of being removed. That originally was a circa 1925, 1930 addition done by Cameron Clark. None of it is really, has any integrity. It's been enveloped by 5 of the extensions at this point. The interior, which is beyond purview of this commission, is completely ripped apart. The windows are not original. The roof has been replaced. And that chimney was built just to look like the other original chimneys, if you scroll down. So that enclosed patio on the side, it's hard to see on this, but it's completely rotted, the wood stakes. So the owners would like to replace that in kind, except instead of the arched openings, they would like to square it off so that it matches the rest of the house a little bit better and doesn't look so different and stand out as much, but all the materials are in kind, the footprints in kind, and everything else will be matching what is there. Can you scroll down, please? That's a close-up of the windows that will be replaced. They are not lined up in any sort of way with the windows on the second floor. They also get very hot and allow a lot of light into the interior. That whole bump out was done around 1990 and does not appear to have a COA approval. And it gets very hot on that interior, which is why they're looking to replace some of those windows. So this is just a front elevation of the house. You can keep scrolling. It's the front elevation. So as I discussed in our pre-application, the door will move to the side. So that's what the door is going to look like. It's going to provide a better, proper egress to the house and allow better access into that mudroom and the ultimate kitchen. As you can see, they want to take down the chimney. So the chimney's not extant. That's all that's happening on this side. You could scroll down a little bit more, please. That's the existing, so it's going to look much better. It's going to be more streamlined and more in line with what the front door looks like in the rest of the house. You could scroll down. That is, yes, there it is. Okay, so this is, can I just scroll up a little bit? This is the existing, as you can see, you have the, can I send that?
Yes.
So you have, this is the existing sunroom, here are those arched ways. They wanna, Rosina, can you just scroll down a little bit? Or can you like just, it's a little bit smaller? So they're gonna rebuild in kind. There are doors that are inside here that are just hard to see. These are screens. They will remain screens. So this is going to be rebuilt in kind, except for just squaring these openings off. These doors are going to get replaced and the headers are all going to line up with the windows and the other doors and be more centralized. It's going to present a more cohesive look. They're also simplifying the lights and the muntins to make it more cohesive throughout the house. And I think that's everything. Oh, and this is just the energy efficiency of the door. That was requested at the pre-application.
Art, do you have any questions?
No, thanks.
Nick, do you have any questions?
Nothing.
Jim, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Maura?
So it's fair to confirm that really nothing on the original house is being touched.
No, the main block, the original main block and the addition and the L there, nothing is being touched. That is full restoration. The only things that they're looking to modify are the newer additions, which were not done
The
sympathetically.
1950, the 1990.
Yeah, the 1990, there's a 1970 portion that's getting tweaked a little bit. Yeah, it's all been done and redone, so it's hard to,
Yeah.
but it's nothing original.
And I fully get that, just for the record.
Yeah, no, the front of the house is being just restored, straight up restoring.
Thanks for that. That's all.
Right?
No questions, just a quick comment, looks much better.
It's beautiful.
It is
Oh, I'm sorry. You want to call me again?
George?
Is all the windows are wood?
The windows are all wood, yeah.
Yeah, it's all wood.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful home.
Take care.
Thank you.
I do not have any questions. Is there anyone from the public that has questions? Hearing none, we did not receive any letters in favor of this application or any letters opposing this application. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
You're back into the meeting.
I am now back on the commission.
The next application is Mindy and David Pritchard, 1005 Old Post Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, for a property located at 1005 Old Post Road for change all the older non-functional windows in the original part of the home to higher efficiency but the same look and steel wood. B, construct an addition over the rear sunroom to expand the master bath. C, remove windows and install one large 4-panel slider door with bluestone steps and a porch roof. And D, remove a garage that is falling apart and is out of character with the house and build back a smaller in height but larger in footprint garage in the same character of the house to increase the architectural harmony. Is there anyone here to present this application?
I am.
Can you state your name for the record?
Yes, my name is Daniel Arena, I'm the architectural designer for the project.
And the Pritchards are
The
here,
producer.
Okay.
including the prior owner,
Hi.
who is the mother of the current owner.
Oh, okay.
Enforcement.
Yes, absolutely.
No pressure.
We come
Yeah.
in force.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd just like to begin, we showed this here, that this is known as the CW Thorpe House, 1756. But I believe it became on register around 1824, so there was some history between when it was created, the Fairfield burning by the British, and the sort of recognition here now, but very interesting, very beautiful house that has been updated and maintained, quite well maintained over the years, I must say. So currently there is a small, it's connotated as a garage, but it's really impossible as a garage to park any sort of car in there, the depth of it. And I said it's falling apart for lack of perhaps better words to say, but it's not too good to walk into or put anything in. And so right now it's just sort of a dead structure sitting, and it's also encroaching on the, the side setbacks in the rear and on the side. So that's one of the major things that we wanted to talk about here, was sort of bringing it back to within the current setback standards to meet current zoning regulations, in making the actual functional garage that you can park 2 cars in, and then David can have his wood shop also on the side. So as he begins to take further interest in restoring the home. The other item that we wanted to talk about would be the rear. Currently, there's a small, I had mentioned it was a sunroom addition, but it's utilized as a small dining area off the rear of the kitchen, with beautiful windows all the way around. And it was just sort of a natural area to want to extend from the upstairs to do a master suite renovation for them, and to not ask for any additional space to be required, just to go over above what is existing. The chimney that is currently here will be extended up further as per code, making sure that I'm 2 feet above the ridge. As far as what we're doing with the rest of the house, and if you would be able to actually pull that supplemental I sent you. Really what they want to do is just make it functional and usable and safe. So over time, a lot of the older windows, as the house has settled, you can imagine they sort of inoperable. So especially in the bedrooms, it's a safety issue to not have operable windows and, the proper egress. And what we're proposing to do is just replace them with standard, I like the Anderson Woodwright windows, the 400 series. There are others, as you mentioned, the Marvin as well. So wood in and wood out. And there's about, I think it was 12 total.
It's 12.
So it's not the entire house. A lot of the windows have been updated, but about 12 windows or so. And finally, in the rear of the living area here is a large window area that we wanted to make into an access. They have a beautiful bluestone patio in the back that they would like to go out and entertain their family. And so we had proposed to, yeah, perfect. The image there shows the conceptual for that. Just a very classic roof, a slate walkout to join onto the existing slate patio here. And if you just want to go through we just have some images of the existing windows.
If I could, yeah, if I could mention just quickly,
Please.
that image of the roof line that we want to build is from 319 Beach Road.
349 Beach Road.
349 Beach Road.
That's the back of that house.
It's the house that Jack presented earlier. We were there at an open house, took a photo of that.
That's what we want.
And that's what we're seeing to create out the back of the house.
Right.
Kind of.
Look familiar.
Yeah.
They gave you credit. Dan.
And
Yes.
Give some credit.
that roof line it's 3 feet deep, just over a landing that you step out.
I'll be asking for the architectural details.
Any more pictures?
Yes.
Yes, in the application.
Okay.
Exactly, but yeah, just of note here, and thank you, David. David actually put this together. I take no credit for this. Some of the existing windows showing the rot and the settlement and some of the water intrusion that they, you know, as they move into this house, they want to get rid of that and make sure that the house is tight. And again, the major thing is the functionality. So we are going to have a good time getting the custom windows, the 9/6. As you see, although originally the house had been said to have 9/9, and there's still one remaining in the house in an enclosed area. Yeah, the mullion pattern is very important. The true divided glass, of course, the wood on wood, all the things that I want to propose to do for the change. If you continue down on the slides. Yeah, again, showing more of the window details, and you know, again, I think the count is about 12 of the house are really just not functional that we want to replace in kind. Even the nice cross window, as you would have a bunch of those, the diagonal mullions. We wanted to go back with a more normative, but that was one of the, again, the non-functional windows. It's just right now a fixed window.
It's actually a casement, which is even weirder.
Yeah, it's
No
a
idea.
casement that has become fixed. That's right. And so, for lack of a better term, yes, the falling apart garage, the lightly chewed, structurally questionable garage, which is just really a shed. Again, I wouldn't put a car in there unless it was a mini or a smart car, which you don't see anymore. But the depth of it doesn't accommodate the height of it, the strange nature. It wasn't built originally with the house. And this is what they're gonna go back with. We want to, again, do similar materials, so you'll have the cedar clapboard siding. This was yep, the vertical. So, oh, sorry, yes, vertical here. Sorry, don't have my glasses. The garage doors to do a more historical feel on those garage doors as well. And just the denotation here, because in the original submission, I had a different garage door detail. So that's what the call out is here. These are the actual garage doors we would be proposing to do. And I could talk probably forever, but I will open it up to questions if anyone has them.
Karen, do you have any questions?
Can you go back to the picture of the windows, please? So some of those windows look still fairly old. Do you have an idea? They cannot be restored at all?
No, because there's been a lot of settlement. I mean, you don't really see in these images, but there are some cracks as well. I used to have a pretty good guy that would restore them. And that would have been probably the easier thing to do, you know, take it out, remove the sash, and then, you know, we can even put in like a double pane now with some of them. But when we looked at these with the frames, it was difficult to do. So he even suggested that we probably replace them. So kind of shooting himself in the foot, because it's quite a bit of work, but yeah.
Okay. That's my question.
Art?
Good question.
No questions.
And my apologies, the photos, obviously, it's hard to see. There's some shutters, because this house, you may know, is right up on the street.
I walk past it a lot.
So the shutters, that you can see rain egress, and
Yeah.
there's some rot and some mold. There's some water seepage and
The
some.
street side of the shutters was all dirty because there's leakage down
Yeah.
outside the framing, so
Yeah.
it's not secure. And we have actually,
They're sealed on both
Yeah.
sides, so you can't really get to them, but it could introduce some structural issues over time, because there's water that gets in there.
yeah. Yeah. And the safety issue that Dan mentioned is a real concern of ours.
Yeah.
Would it be a good time for me to comment? Okay.
Oh, yes, please.
No,
I did bring reinforcements.
No, I'll just comment quickly. I just want to let you guys know, I mean, just for the sake of history, we were introduced to this house probably about 25 years ago when the parents of kids that our kids went to school with were hosting a cocktail party there. And we walked in and we were like, wow, this place is amazing. And then probably about 5 years later, my parents were looking to move to Fairfield to be closer to the grandkids. And my father, who has passed away, was an architect and not an antique house guy at all. And I said, look, just trust me. You need to come in this house. You need to see it. Brought him in and they were immediately taken with the feel that this house has. I don't know if any of you have ever been inside of it, but it's just got an incredible feel. And they said, all right, we're going to do this. It's an incredible location, incredible house. They moved in. My father, unfortunately, passed away.
A year and a half later.
A year and a half later in the front room of this very house. And he actually had his hospital bed and it was facing, so he could see out the windows to the holiday lights on the Perry Green. And he just, he loved that. So mom stayed there for another, for a total of 18 years until she was getting close to 90. And we said, you need to get to a place where you have one floor. So she moved out. She's here in Fairfield at the Anchorage and rented the house out for the last 2 years so that David and I could prepare to purchase it because it's a house that we love as a family and have had a lot of experience with. Our kids said, when we said we were looking to downsize, that's great, mom, dad, you can't lose grandma's house. You gotta, this is really important to us. So we are not looking to change the integrity of the house, the historical nature of it at all. We just want to make it more energy efficient, more functional for obviously today's lifestyle, safe for the hopeful grandkids that one day will come visiting. And we're just really excited about it. And we've been in Fairfield a long time and the old post road is really special to us. So, that's kind of all I have to say.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about the windows. I have a very old house too. I did a restoration of my windows because it was cheaper than, first of all, I love my windows, but it was also much cheaper than replacing them wholesale. And then with the tax credits, you get 30% back of your hard cost of construction, which makes it even more.
Well, I know you reglazed them, like when you guys first
One or
moved.
two had to be reglazed.
Yeah. like-
Some of my windows had to be, the wood had to be restored. They were inoperable.
Yeah.
They're done dash
Right.
operation.
Flash. Some of them have no hardware at all
Yeah,
now.
we had the hardware reinstalled, the weights were put back in, they're now fully operable. So that's
But
why I
it
was
was-
asking,
it's
so if
really
there's
helpful.
any way to save any of those windows?
That would really be Dan's purview, and I know
Any
he
of
had his
them?
windows.
Yeah, I restored a house in New Haven by a hooker school.
Yep.
And it has like that sort of turret rotunda on the whole side, and we went through that whole house with him. And I hadn't brought him in the house, but I could show him a bunch of pictures to see if I could provide you with an alternative. And he was just like, the rod is quite extensive, it's wonky. He's like, it's gonna probably be about the same cost and maybe an inferior product at the end. So that's why, with what I did there, whatever he couldn't save there, we did with the Anderson Woodwright, the 400 series. I did another house in the West End of Hartford, same sort of deal and same question. Because that is the idea, like, can we restore it, right? That's why we're here.
I mean, I'm not even asking if you can restore all of them.
Right.
Are there any that, like that half moon window?
We actually planned to save the half moon window.
Okay.
Yeah, we were not gonna replace.
That's
it.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Because
just
that
a
doesn't
direct
need to be
linear one.
functional and that's in the end.
Yeah.
And it's just, we're not worried about the safety issue and the
Because-
heat exchange issue, we can insulate,
Right.
Yeah.
so that's fine.
It's more so the impetus, especially in the bedrooms where they're, like this, the whole grandchildren would be and make sure that it's not heavy or it's not wonky, it's sliding, it's appropriate and, but yeah.
That's the thought.
Nick, back to you.
No questions, thank you.
Jim?
Oh, beautiful house. Thank you. I have no questions, just comment. I appreciate the legacy, the history and your ability to keep it as is. Thank you.
Right.
No questions. Good luck.
Laura.
She's having a good day.
Maura?
So I'm just gonna back up with Darren saying, I actually had a house that's probably 1700s, prior to this one, and what they did in that house is they focused on saving the windows on the front of the house, and then added the hang-on, storm windows for the additional kind of heat.
The
right,
exterior.
Glass on the exterior. Yeah, and then we actually did it so that it was screens, and then you could pop in the windows for the winter. And it was interesting because I kept getting, Eversource kept saying, we're gonna do a heat survey, energy survey. So I'm like, okay, fine, we'll just come. And the guy comes and goes, this is ridiculous, this house is great, you can't do much more than, what you've done. So sometimes the energy, what you can do is quite remarkable, and particularly the front of the house, just to keep that wobbly glass is just amazing.
And that's what I've done in my house. I have those exterior
Right.
storms that clip on.
Right. The other comment I had is just the question on the garage, is that a metal over the windows on the top and the new one? Or is that,
We were over the dormer, we were considering a standing seam, a dark gray standing seam roof.
okay, I just couldn't tell from.
Yeah,
the
and
way-
then the rest of it would be the matched shingle roof that the asphalt shingle that's on the house.
This will be a metal roof.
So just,
Asphalt shingle on the whole
Right.
roof except for the front
Okay.
dormer.
so just as a comment,
Yeah.
not saying yay or nay, but we literally just had a presentation from SHPO State saying how while the metal roofs are, people consider them historic, they weren't really historic for this region.
Okay.
Um,
We would have no issue with making that asphalt roof. We were thinking of making it metal because we've seen so many of them lately and they've been very attractive and they've been an interesting contrast. And we were considering maybe putting the metal roof over the little egress from the family room so they would match one another.
Right.
But if that was a problem,
I mean, I opened it up to it just struck me, given
Right.
that comment, and because this house is so historic.
Just-
right, absolutely.
And a quick mention that the accessory structure that's 2 feet 3 inches off the rear setback and 4 feet
Oh, the
off
one
the
that
side.
exists now.
The existing that Dan referenced was built in 1948.
Right.
So we don't know anything else about its history. In itself is not historic, and it is set very far back on the property. Clearly, the house is extremely prominent.
And hear you loud and clear. It's just, again, back to style, and you
Mhm.
guys are kind of by your own standard, because this house is just so historic.
That's right.
So that's the only reason.
Yeah, we would have no problem with that being as, we didn't, I was not aware of that specific.
I wasn't either.
Right, so that's interesting and that would not be an issue at
Well,
all.
I think their point more was the total, remember the total standing seam roofs, not it's.
Right, but I'm just saying, anyway,
But it was, when you're a good point.
And my reference also was just to, in 1948, they may have been making standing seam. This was not, this is not a 1756 garage.
Right.
Or building.
Yeah.
So, obviously, not a 1756 garage.
Yeah.
They
that's
parked
all I
different,
have.
different type of transportation in garages back then.
Just reading an article on history of standing seam metal roofing, looks like it goes back to 1727.
There are some, but this region
It
is.
said it was expensive.
No, but that was down south.
Yeah,
It
down south.
Yeah.
Why did they do it down south, you know?
was just difference of the weather and
Because we have like mostly
Well,
wood
they do it
up here.
Yeah,
They-
it would.
in Vermont,
Kind of-
but here
kind
it
of-
wasn't.
Well, they probably do it in Vermont because of the snow. too.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Slide.
Which we certainly get a ton of
Slide.
snow, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, we like the look of it and we would love the look of it, but if that was a stumbling block for you guys, we would make the adjustment.
I'm already getting shot down, so,
They skipped over you. Yeah,
1723,
yeah.
Brett, do you have any questions?
No more questions.
George, do you have any questions?
No, I think the plans look great, on a standing seam, just bad, right? I'd opt for standing seam versus asphalt, because I think it's a better look. So, and I think that it is acceptable, it's an accessory, I think if you do a total roof, like a barn roof, and it's all standing seam, yeah, that's a little bit Vermont style, and I don't think that's appropriate at all in this part of the world.
Yeah,
We agree.
like
But
accentuated.
Thank you very much, nice job, looks like a great house,
We're excited about it.
I got that.
I'm gonna say welcome to back to the neighborhood. And similar to Maura and Darren, I have kind of some concerns on the brand new windows versus restoring the windows. Other than that, great presentation, so. Is there anyone from the public who has any questions or comments? Hearing none, we did not receive any letters in favors of this application or any letters opposing this application. So, thank you very much. The next item in the agenda is St. Paul's Episcopal Church, 661 Old Post Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, for a property located at 661 Old Post Road for install AC unit in access drive for nursery school room. Is there anyone here to present this application?
Yes, my name is Glenn Pack. I represent the air conditioning company for St. Paul's for this project. It's gonna be a lot less elaborate.
Julie, go ahead. So,
So, basically, do you have the documents?
Yes.
And I made copies also. 2 copies.
I'll share with Art.
There's actually 3 outdoor units with the total 4 indoor heads. This one and this one are not visible by the street. This one is hidden by a dumpster closure. So that was it. So it's this one here, which is roughly 72 feet from the road. There is a picture of, I think, a Google. Okay, so. This is location A. Just notice the brick area here, because when you see street view, you don't have an idea where it is. It's approximately right where that is. It would be hung on a wall bracket about 15 inches off the ground. The unit stands 21 inches tall, by 31 inches wide, it's 11 inches deep. It's gonna be about 9-10 inches off the wall, so about 20 inches out. That's the picture that constantly did. Roll.
Going too fast.
No, that's it.
That's
it.
Yeah. That's it. Let me see if I get give me 1 second, the view from the street.
And in the 2 packets that I passed out, there's a view of the street. You can see where the brick is, where it's flat, and the concrete starts. And we're between the 2 windows, where the concrete is, put down obviously much lower. We're just slightly above the window does.
What were the dimensions of the unit?
31, and they're in the package. It's 31 inches wide, 21 inches tall, 11 inches. So, round ones, and it's up to about 15 inches. So it's about 3 feet up on the high side of the slope. Okay, so it's right. Here's the 2 windows. Here's the window wells. So it's right there. And it's just slightly. It's going to stick just slightly above where the paint lands. Jennifer, you got that view. There's a couple other views of the location B and C, just to verify where they are. This one's B is behind the dumpster building, and B is surrounded on 3 sides by the church. That shows in the site plan.
Yeah.
That's really it.
That,
Any questions?
Darren,
No questions, thank you.
Art,
None.
Nick,
Thank you.
Jim,
no questions.
Mark.
Thanks, no, thank you.
Right?
No question.
George?
No questions. No, looks very nice. Thank you.
I do not have any questions. Is there anyone from the public that has any questions? We did not receive any letters in favor of this application or any letters opposing this application, so this is now closed. Thank you.
I would like to make a motion to add the meeting, the COA that we were going to hear at the subsequent meeting to this one, to this agenda, just so we don't have to open and close meetings. And so I'm making a motion to add Daniel Wilson, 14 Willow Street, Southport, Connecticut, for a property located at 14 Willow Street, Southport, Connecticut, to replace a portion of a fence that was removed for construction with a cedar wire fence.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, any discussions? Let's vote. All in favor? Motion passes. So the next item in the agenda is Daniel Wilson, 14 Willow Street, Southport, Connecticut, for a property located at 14 Willow Street to A, replace portion of the fence that was removed from construction with cedar wire fence. Is there anyone here to present this application?
Yes, I'm here. I'm Carrie Wilson.
Give me one.
Yeah, you have that. I didn't actually print anything out. I
That's okay.
apologize.
So we scared him away.
Yes, we're taking turns.
Can you spell Carrie for me?
It's Kerry.
Thank you.
Okay, so,
Come up here
yeah,
if you want.
okay, great. So this is our property. Let me just, orient myself here. Okay, so yeah, so this is the new garage that Jack worked on, and we had previously been approved we took down a portion of the fence right here, and we were just going to replace the exact same fencing, which we have to do because we have a pool, so the property has to be fully fenced in. You can scroll up a little bit. So this is, if you're standing in but now you can't even really see this area because of the privet, but if you're coming in from our driveway, this is looking in from Westway Road, looking into our yard. And so we're gonna replace the fence right here. And so, yeah, so this is the current view after construction. The dimensions, it'll be 26.5 feet long by 4 feet high, but only this portion here, the 12 feet, will be visible. The rest will be behind this hedge here. And then there'll be a gate. So this is the fence that we had taken down. That's what we had approved to put back up. But for us, it felt a little kind of just clunky looking and harsh now that the garden's there. So let's scroll up. So we wanted to put just a cedar wire fence that will sort of like blend into the garden area and be more kind of invisible, leaving the rest of the fence the same. And the fence, we're not gonna paint it white, but the gate will kind of look like that. And so we have these garden beds in here that it'll kind of like match that. And there's a hedge here that kind of hides most of it from Westway Road anyway, but. Any questions about that?
No questions, thank you.
Art,
None, thanks.
Nick,
Look very good.
Jim,
None, thanks.
Maura?
I had that fence there.
They are nice.
Greg?
Yes, quite.
George?
I think it's great. Looks very nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
I don't have any questions, so thank you very much. Is there anyone from the public that has any questions? Hearing none, we did not receive any letters in favor of this application or any letters opposing this application. So this hearing is now closed. Thank you for everyone that presented. If you want to leave, we'll send you the information on what's approved or not. If you want to stay, feel free. We're moving on to the consideration of the public hearing. The first item in the agenda is Kevin Plough, 349 Beach Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, for a property located at 349 Beach Road for A, new pent roof overhang north side door, B, new storm door at north side door, C, new addition at south side of the house to replace existing screen porch, D, new brick stoops with bluestone treads, E, new wood SDL windows and doors, F, covered gutters to match existing. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? It passes. The next item is HOA 176 Main Street Association, Sean Polly and Madeline Livingston, 180 Main Street, number 2, Southport, Connecticut, for a property located at 180 Main Street, number 2, to rebuild a chimney. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, let's take a vote. All in favor? Motion passes.
I'm recused for the next one.
The next item is Elizabeth Stricker Albertini, 3113 Bronson Road, for a property located at 3113 Bronson Road for A, remove chimney on rear elevation, B, move mudroom door to the north elevation of the addition, C, rebuild the sun porch in kind with square openings rather than round, D, replace all doors on the southern elevation with slimline aluminum energy efficient doors. Is there a motion?
Move submitted.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, let's take a vote. All in favor? Motion passes. The next item is Mindy and David Pritchard, 1005 Old Post Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, for a property located at 1005 Old Post Road for A, change the older non-functional windows in the original part of the home to higher efficiency, but same look and still wood. B, construct an addition over the rear sunroom to expand the master bath. C, remove windows and install one large 4-panel slider door with bluestone steps and porch roof. D, remove a garage that is falling apart and it's out of character with the house and build back a smaller in height but larger in footprint garage in the same character of as the house to increase the architectural harmony. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
I'll second that.
Is there a discussion?
I still am concerned about the windows.
I know there's a preference to restore them if possible, but, you know, they did consult a restoration guy who I believe said that they weren't able to restore them to satisfaction. So if in fact we believe that the new windows are gonna be like to like, I don't have a problem with that. Although
I agree with that.
I think, you know, if they went to the trouble of asking someone and turned down the job, so I don't know that we should question that.
I take Darren's comments just from the standpoint of, I think it's part of our job is to reinforce anything that can be done to be saved is always going to be our preference. And it's always a very difficult for you guys as well as that line between efficiency, money and whatnot. Just, I think it's worth it for us to just say we always hope that anything that can be saved would be saved.
I agree completely, but, you know.
No, she did, but Darren didn't say she was going to turn it down. She just said
I'm aware of that, unless we have evidence that they can be restored, you know, how could we question?
If we remember the presentation that Mary Dawn gave to us about materials and all the different things that can be done, one of the things that they indicated is that they will always prefer keeping the original materials rather than replacing them.
Yep.
that was one of the items that she actually was very strongly.
I'm totally in
Advice.
agreement with that. I'm just saying, unless we know that they can be restored to satisfaction, how do we question what?
It's hard to
What-
judge from the pictures, I think is part of my issue. And I hear what the homeowners are saying. As, you know, as a historic preservation specialist, I've seen a lot of windows that have been said are beyond repair, but they're not. And, you know, it just takes, and I understand that the owners and the architect have gone to the trouble of speaking to someone. It's just, I've been in situations where I've heard this before, and there are more windows that are salvageable than not.
Right,
And that is my concern.
and if it was the same price of replacing versus that, we would just want the homeowner to know there is value of retaining.
And-
Whereas sometimes the practicality is, oh, let's just get new ones.
I don't think cost is supposed to be a factor.
Yeah.
Cost is not a factor,
No,
especially,
but it is a practical issue that.
but even if we're talking about cost, there is those state tax credits that make it, like, my window restoration was 30,000, I got 11,000 back in the hard cost of construction, and then I went back and did those storm windows that hung and clipped, and they're mahogany and they're beautiful, and you can still see the historic window through them. So I'm just like voicing my opinion as, you know, from my professional standpoint. It's hard for me to make a call on those windows based on those pictures.
And then also part of the presentation, kind of, you guys indicated that there's one that might be kept. And so it might be better if there is a more thorough look at just the windows perhaps, and see how, let's say, this one, and this one can be kept. This one, and this one will have to be replaced regardless. So it's not kind of, we are against this, but maybe looking a little bit further into what can be done.
I'm open to that also, if you wouldn't mind sharing your context. So I used
Absolutely.
a gentleman named Dick Fritzer. Byglass was his original company.
Yes, we can talk after this. I'd
So-
be happy to give you some.
Because, yeah, then it'll, I guess, get more substance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So my,
Sadly, no, because we're in a closed session, but
Fine.
I shouldn't have commented, I'm sorry.
Jim,
go ahead,
sorry.
yeah. No, so my comment is, I get to the spirit of what you're actually saying. But I agree with Art on this. It sounds like in the presentation, it wasn't just the homeowners. It was yourself that actually had indicated an individual came out and would have loved to have made money off this job, but said that they're not worth it. So I think they've already done that. Look at it. They are going to keep that one window, that fixed window. But I mean, other than us getting involved and going out there, I mean, I believe the investigation that's already taken place and the feedback from, I mean, and I'll take the homeowner out of it, but the feedback from the professional that actually indicated the individual he looked at, this isn't like, let's get 3 bids and go for it. This is an individual, an expert, from what I'm understanding, looked at it and said, these are not salvageable, but we will replace in kind. I take that as, that box is checked for me. I'm not discounting what you're saying, but the box is checked for me.
Understood. I cannot make a comment. There's ethical issues for me to make a comment.
So just, I'd like to make a comment. I agree with Art's point. I understand the concerns. I think this has been a thorough presentation. They've done their due diligence. They did their work. They have the pictures. They did show damage. I mean, the pictures show damage. They show the windows having some damage and there's rot. You pull those windows out and they're going to be even more brittle, whatever the case may be. I think they did, in my opinion, I think they did as good as a job as I've seen on a presentation for this, analyzing, having an individual support it. It looks like they did the job for that. Now, they're going to take the notes in consideration and they're going to do everything they can in order at the event when they pull off those windows. But I'm siding with the comments.
Yeah, they didn't have to bring up that they consulted an expert. He gave them an opinion.
Even if he
That's
didn't,
gratuitous.
yeah, even if he didn't say that, my opinion
Will
would
be
be
the
the same. And, you know, just
Well, as a historic preservation expert, if you can say, looking at those pictures, that they can absolutely be restored, I'll go along with
I
that.
can't tell anything by
Well,
the
then-
pictures. That's the
that-
problem. They don't look bad in the pictures. That's the issue.
No, and I trust your judgment, but unless you can say those can be repaired, you know, they.
But I think we're getting off on the spirit of this. I don't think this is, the comment is that, you know, it's a black, this is not black and white. And we also have, they kindly came in the spirit of wanting to preserve this house. So some of this is to try to provide some additional information so that perhaps it can be considered, not to be hard asses and say, oh, you can't do this and do this. So I think it gets back up from, you know, this being like black and white, and it's very subjective of what can and can't. I've been there, right? One person can walk in and say, absolutely replace these, and the next person says, no, I can do this. You've gotten quotes for things. You know, so it's not that we're saying they didn't have a good guy. It's just, we hear things from different places and we're trying to contribute to the conversation. That's it.
And I personally would love to see the windows in person so I can see exactly what, you know, the homeowners and the architect are saying. I can't see them in the photo.
Understood.
That was my
I don't
point,
have a
and that
problem.
makes me nervous, you know, like documenting rot and molds, like it's sometimes hard to get that picture, especially with windows, which you have the casement, you have the interior, you have the exterior, you have, you know, storms, you have multiple different parts that can be compromised in different ways.
And
So that's
I-
all I'm saying.
And I just want to make sure that we are, and I know we do, hold all things to a certain standard, but I haven't seen us in other cases want to go out and investigate window rot and damage when it comes time to replacing windows. So I do, and again, this is where we have an expert here that has actually turned down the job because they are not recoverable. Now, we could go out and ask them to get 2 or 3 or 4 until we get to the answer that checks the box for our opinions. And again, I'm not discounting anybody's opinion, but they are just that their opinions, an expert says they are not salvageable.
But here's the thing, right? I think you have to be really careful saying we've never done it.
No, I didn't say we never did it.
Well, we haven't.
There have been
but-
instances.
But there's a very different circumstance when someone replaces a house that's from 1930 versus a 1700 house that there are very few left in Fairfield. Unfortunately for them, these windows become more important than other windows, and that's, but we still have to be fair, and we all are trying to be fair. So this is just hard, because it's not black and white.
Have we established that these windows are the original glass from 1756? Or are these replacements from the 50s, 60s, 40s, 30s?
Well, I
I've walked by the house. There are some pieces that look original to me. I have not crossed property lines. I've been on the sidewalk, so there is an element of removal. But, you know, like you can get wavy glass now. So I can't, you know, I can't say without a shadow of a doubt, but based on what I can see of the Muntins, because I love this house and I walk by it all the time, and it's one of those ones I've clocked.
Yeah, it's great.
You know, because this is what I do. So the Muntins look correct for the period. So all I'm saying, and I brought it up on other instances, and I know we can't claim certain ones, but I've had conversations with other architects who may or may not be in this room about, you know, saving the Muntins, changing the glass, or saving the transoms if you have to replace the door, you know, like these are questions that standard come up. And all I'm saying, I'm not saying no, I'm not saying yes, I'm just raising the concern from my perspective. It's hard for me to assess that these are beyond repair.
Yeah, and I don't discount your feedback at all. I'm just gonna side with the other direction.
That's fair.
Let's a hypothetical, let's restore. If we decide to deny that element without prejudice, we go out and see the windows, they bring out this restoration guy who says, look, those are beyond repair, we need to replace them. So what do? Do we either believe him or not, or say, no, we're gonna go ahead and require you to restore them?
Well, it would be good to have that person just write a letter saying blah, 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 blah. You know, like these are beyond repair. There's this one that's in good condition. It would take minimal restoration or whatever the case may be, or, you know, just being like, these are crap, get rid of them. Like, you know, that's, all I'm saying is that I'm not even telling them to do that. All I'm saying is that it's hard for me to assess the situation based on what I'm seeing.
So,
And I have a hard time believing that they're all just beyond repair. That's all I'm saying.
so even a simpler thing. The item in question, it says change all the older non-functional windows. So part of the presentation already said,
Oh, we're
that
keeping
one
that,
is
so
gonna be
we-
kept.
yeah.
So in theory, what it was presented, it's a little bit, it goes
Anomalous.
against what we know can be done. So at least one window can be kept.
Yeah.
So that is just, this is then the black and white. One window can be kept. The item in question is change all the windows. It's that simple. That's just my take.
That,
And our motion right now is to approve as significant.
Correct.
right.
Is it precedent to do a soft approval where like, while we're working on it?
No, part of the,
Sorry.
you shouldn't even be making.
Sorry.
Then I think at this point, we'll just call the question.
So let's vote for the motion that was presented to approve A, B, C, and D. All in favor? You're not voting. Sorry. You're an alternate. We're all here, so sorry for that. So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Okay. All against? Just 2. Motion passes. Next item is St. Paul's Episcopal Church, 661 Old Post Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, for a property located at 661 Old Post Road for a installed AC unit in access drive for nursery school room. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
Second.
Any discussion? Let's take a vote. All in favor?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Anything about screening?
Whoa, whoa.
Then we can, that's part of the discussion.
Yeah, that's
Go
what
ahead.
I wanted to bring that. Do we think there should be perpetual screening with this, with screening?
Yeah,
That makes
I think
sense,
so.
yeah.
I think that's a good. Yeah, my question on that, I don't disagree with that, is my kids actually went to preschool there and I know that's a narrow driveway. Does that impede the purpose of the driveway? The sense of cars getting down there, delivery trucks, et cetera, to the back fence?
Okay,
No,
good to know.
Can I ask the question to the, no? Okay, that'd be my feedback. So it is a driveway, it is behind the brick part of the church, it's further back. I would prefer it, but only if it doesn't impede.
Maybe the screening has to be from the street. So it would be more along the end of it and not in front of
There
it.
you go.
Okay, so it's kind of satisfies your issue and gets you your point, okay? So, is that fair?
Yep. So do we need to adjust the motion?
Yeah.
So what are we doing?
That's.
We have to vote the motion, don't we have to vote it down?
Or you can adjust it?
Or can we adjust it?
All right, I
Withdraw it.
Withdraw your.
I withdraw the motion
Yeah.
and, make a motion to approve as submitted with the stipulation of screening in perpetuity.
Off the end? No.
From.
From the street.
From the street. The street.
So approve as submitted with.
The stipulation of screening in perpetuity from the street.
Street.
Not impeding.
Yes, they don't affect the driver.
Sorry.
Street, okay.
Any other discussions?
What needs to be seconded?
I'll second it.
We've another revision, yeah, I'll second.
So Jim,
Jim?
Yeah. any other discussion? Okay, so let's vote. All in favor? Okay, passes. The next item is Daniel Wilson, 14 Willow Street, Southport, Connecticut, for a property located at 14 Willow Street for a replaced portion of the fence that was removed from construction with cedar wire fence. Is there a motion?
Move submitted.
Second.
Darren. Is there, any discussion? Hearing none, let's all vote. All in favor? It passes. So thank you very much. We're gonna now move into the next section to approve the minutes from,
You guys are good. Would you?
George, you're leaving?
I'm saying he's doing that.
So that,
Gary, make a quick comment, as now that everyone's out of the way.
We're still technically in closed session, but.
No, I'm good, that's good. It's,
Arena, like football, ARENA. Otherwise, I get two E's, I's. Thank you all, and let's be in contact, please.
Here, I can give you my.
I'll send both of you the email. Okay.
Thank you all, have a good evening.
The next item is the approval of the minutes. We have 3 of them, from July 9th, 2026 at 4:15 PM, which was the actual meeting.
Have to make separate motions for these or no?
I think we can do.
Okay.
Yeah, follow
The
this.
next one is July 9th, 2026 at 6 PM, which was the materials. No, which was the
Yes, the,
second, no, it was the second presentation.
it was
That-
the state presentation and then the third was me. Yeah, we did a pre-application.
Okay. Okay, so,
I got them all 3 here. if you need them.
yes,
So I'll make a motion. Oh. I'm gonna make a motion.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve all 3 minutes from July 9th, 2026 as submitted.
Second.
Approved.
all in favor? Okay. The next,
July 9th.
Oh, what did I say?
No, it's line that. No, I think she said.
I said July 9th, 2026.
Oh, sorry, I heard.
No, it's okay. No, you're fine.
What she didn't say was marathon meeting following up.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, you need to amend my emotion.
Yeah, marathon meeting.
but just to clarify, the 4:15 was the regular
Yeah.
public hearing. The 6 o'clock was a kind of presentation.
Presentation.
No, it was a presentation for an approval as another public hearing.
Oh, okay.
That was missed. And then the third one was the state and the pre-application.
Okay, got it, fixed up.
Do we know who seconded your motion?
Art,
Art did.
not George.
Art did.
The next item is repairs. We did not receive any during this month. The next is the demolitions. I'll share the images of the proposed demolitions.
And then I got the acknowledgement that you received the history museum's comments. From Mike Jaley.
Yes.
Yep.
So these are the properties in question: 33 Robert Court, 168 Wormwood Road, 304 Lancelot Drive. It was incorrectly indicated in the agenda that was road, it's drive. And 179 Burnell Hill Road.
That's going down.
Yes.
How old is that?
Probably that's.
I have.
Was down.
So that house has been insanely altered.
I move around
Is it-
from it. Yeah, they.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's beyond the purview of this commission, but it's been torn up inside.
I'll just say this,
The only thing that's existing is the facade.
Al will love this. I will just say you can't restore the windows.
So just for clarification to everyone in the commission, the museum requested to see if there is a way that the property can be documented because of the character. even though the property has been, hold on, let me stop sharing for a second. Even though the property has been changed on the interior for different phases, the architect is going to be providing a document with documentation of the facade and pictures so that the museum can hold it in their archives. Basically, if this property was to be kept, there are so many variances and things in terms of zoning that we don't need to get involved. But there were a lot of different aspects that brought this to be demolished. So, but
So 1835, I see.
Nineteen eighty-five, that house is almost down, by the way, it's almost collapsing. So,
But
I
I'd
mean-
love to know that the museums.
so here, I'm gonna share this.
It's all in a lot of cases. What is the museum? They're gonna
Picture.
record the facade and have it as a record.
Document the house.
And the architect is Margaret Browning, who used to be in the commission, so she, yes, she knows kind of what to do and how to kind of document it. So this is the State of Connecticut Historical Commission information that was shared by the museum, which we shared with Margaret, and she's been talking directly with Mike Jelly, and we're gonna do, he's gonna do a site visit together with her to kind of see what else he would like documentation on. So,
That's the Fairfield Museum?
yes.
Side note, was this anybody important that lived here? Is that? what you-
Jennings,
Yes.
that's Jennings house.
Okay.
George Jennings, a farmer.
Yep.
Thank you.
It is significant as one of the better examples of the late use of this Italianate style in Fairfield.
Yep.
It's completely, yeah. Well, they painted it all one color, including the window.
Okay, so the next
It's a
item is,
mess.
the next item is violations. I've been in touch with the town attorney about 176 Main Street. This was the property that came in front of us for a certificate of approval for the window in the kitchen that had been, so they were in violation. They replaced in kind per what it was given to them. So they replaced it in kind. When we went for a site visit, it was not really in kind. And we asked them to come for a certificate of appropriateness, and they did. To this day, they haven't replaced the window. It's been over a year. So we're going back to reinstate the violation. So I've tried to contact the owner, and there's been really nothing, so.
So is that with the main house in the front? or
Yes,
one of
it's the main house.
The main house, okay.
Yes.
I remember the case. So,
Yes,
yeah,
That's too bad, that.
yeah, big time. And they hired the wrong guy.
Well.
He was horrific.
so that's beyond what we need to discuss. In terms of old business, we're still looking for the presentation of the guidelines to the community at some point. We haven't heard anything about the membership in the National Alliance of Preservation Commissioners for the CLP. I did send you guys one little WebEx thing that I attended, so that anyone interested could have looked at the recording. In terms of the historic property inventory, we're inching closer to it. We have the information from the town. We just have to finalize a few things, correct?
We need the certified resolution.
Yes. So we're working on that one. The City Squared applications, I'm also still working on it. It hasn't been removed. The old way hasn't been removed from the website, but applications can be received through City Squared. Then the next one is mitigation for demolition. This is mainly for 15 Encore Road. We've been in touch with the architects and the owner. The owner is willing to do some documentation.
Good.
We learned that there is nothing in the museum about this property. So my last email to the owner was if he could share all this, like the mitigation report that he might put together with the museum so that they have something in there. But we need a little bit more discussion with the owner in terms of the mitigation.
I think we also need to have a discussion as a commission on what we're asking for when we ask for mitigation documents, because to me, mitigation documents are very specific.
Yes. So
Is there a guideline?
there are.
There are things that I've had to do them, they're very.
Should that be an attachment on our handbook?
No, because it's not something
Right.
we can require.
No.
It's something we can ask for, and if somebody's open to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still working to see what they can provide, what it can be done. So I think maybe another meeting might be helpful. Then in new business, the WebEx presentation was regarding the ACHP proposed rulemaking, which is a Advisory Council on Historic Preservation has proposed sweeping revisions to the regulations found at the 36 CFR 800, implementing the Section 106 process. In addition to many procedural changes, the proposal fundamentally alters the intent of the National Historic Preservation Act, which was to provide input into federal decision-making and to assure agencies properly take into account the effects of their actions upon historic properties. So I'm gonna read you guys a quick paper that the State Historic Preservation shared with us. And they also are requesting that the certified local governments have a standing to request a meeting with the OIRA to take advantage to express any concerns. So there will be most likely a meeting on Thursday, August 20 at 2:00. And HTC has been invited in case we want to provide any information. But the quick facts and the talking points are the proposed rules eliminate required consultation with states, tribes, and local governments. The proposed elimination of consultation with the state historic preservation officers is contrary to the 54 USC 302-303B, which empowers SHPO with their own statutory authorities and roles related to federal agency NHPA compliance, including a responsibility to consult with appropriate federal agencies in accordance with this division of the content and sufficiency of any plans developed to protect, manage, or reduce or mitigate harm to that property. The intent of NHPA was to set up a federal-state partnership. This proposal violates that principle. The next one, the proposed rule allows federal agencies to unilaterally identify historic properties and to make determinations as to their eligibility for the National Register of Historic Places. Only the keeper of the National Register is authorized to make eligibility determinations with State Historic Preservation Office, empowered via regulations to assist in the determination process. With no consultation, it is a conflict of interest to have a federal agency identify and determine the eligibility of historic properties by itself. By cutting out required public consultation, the proposed rule violates the ACHP own statutory responsibility to encourage public interest and participation in historic preservation. The next one, agencies will identify historic properties, any effects and mitigation of adverse effects themselves, and only submit a report of their findings for commentary on the policy choices reflected in the report before issuing a memorandum of decision. Next one, the proposed rule narrows what historic properties are subject to section 106. Historic properties are defined in NHPA as those that are listed or eligible for listing on the National Register of Historic Places. The proposed regulations disqualify from section 106 properties that are not geographically compact or that are landscapes. The NHPA is subject to all historic properties. The ACHP cannot, through regulation, disqualify historic properties from consideration. And then the last one is there has been no accountable process to ensure meaningful and timely input by state and local officials on the development of the proposal as required by Executive Order 13132. So the bottom line, this inappropriately empowers federal agencies to make decisions without any input. Commenting on a report is not the same thing as consultation, and it's not what Congress intended when it passed NHPA. So that is what has been shared.
So much for giving power to the states.
They're doing this across the board. They're gutting preservation,
Yeah.
and it's really bad. We're facing it quite a lot in my opinion.
Yeah. I talked to David Parker about this.
Oh, he's ballistic.
That's an understatement.
It's because of the White House.
So there will be a meeting, a Teams meeting, if anyone is interested. Yeah. So
So we're volunteers.
State is
This can impact the
Marisol.
side of the.
It impacts me horribly as both a consultant and a museum employee.
Based on precedence of the change of importance.
So what it does is it guts certain processes that ensure that things are properly documented and appropriately restored and sensitively approaching landscapes in particular. So basically what it's saying is that there's no 106 process, which means developers can go in and just like slam through things, go right through Native American sites and like demolish stuff.
Without what's happening in Southford.
It eliminates the process. Well, no, how does that make this?
Huh?
Well, where in South?
Well, the commercialization of the
It's
near the train
ACHP.
station.
Yeah.
The UI situation.
Yeah.
I sent all of you.
Yeah, this
this
is, she sent it out.
Side
Can
of it.
we-
Oh, so this is the national, it's not some federal agency.
It's it's the national, but it's trying to gut
No,
federal,
totally understand.
the national preservation.
This is federal related or the
And
state?
it gives the
Okay.
state no input.
Well, the
Federal pushing.
National Historic Preservation Act empowers things like SHPO,
Right.
which are state agencies.
Right.
So SHPO is kind of like a liaison between the state and National Park Service, which is federal, to make sure these things happen.
Right. Eyes on the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
And then you have all the tribes who are also involved in this, and
It's not the White
Well, they
House,
want it.
this
So it has that-
governing body.
No,
Does it have to pass?
It's the historic, it's the
What
natural
was
story.
I'm talking about the impetus.
the
No,
impetus
I
is
mean, I would
development.
think, you know,
Yeah,
these
without question.
Republicans are more state oriented. I
Yeah.
would think it goes to the White House, some of
Okay.
them would be against it.
Developers are
No,
gonna wreck
that's-
the world.
Not always the case.
No.
But we don't know for sure.
So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. So I will be attending that meeting. I know Darren will be attending that meeting.
It's
So-
a WebEx, right?
It's Teams meeting.
So you got, is it communicated out? If you
It
say-
will be sent out. I don't think we have the link.
Yeah.
We don't have to,
Mary
no.
sent it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be traveling, I won't be able to.
no.
Would it be like a meeting like this? or
No.
just-
No.
It's not something you would have to attend.
No.
No, not, no, you don't have to like, no, it's not like a formal public meeting.
Typing for-
Yes. I didn't mean for that to come out in any
No, I
sort
got
of-
you.
But it's
Right.
basically they're inviting the CLGs to
Mhm.
kind
To be
of,
part of
And
it.
there's
Listen.
169 of them. You do not want
Oh,
to take
wow.
notes for this.
Right, that's what I'm trying to.
There's not 169, there's 169.
You can take it in AI. Let AI do it.
It's very simple.
Is there,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
no, I was gonna ask if there's any other new businesses, but seeming that we don't have any. Is there a
I
motion?
made a motion to,
I'll take it.
George second.
We're out of here.
All in favor?
A lot of it.
Being good.
Thank you very much.
Yep.